We often assume that words have fixed meanings, that their interpretations are independent of the context in which they are used. But what if the meaning of a word or phrase is not absolute, but rather shifts and changes depending on the surrounding circumstances? This is the intriguing concept of contextualism, a philosophical framework that challenges our assumptions about language, meaning, and knowledge. In this video, we'll delve into the world of contextualism, exploring its various forms, its implications for how we understand language and communication, and the debates it has sparked in fields like philosophy, linguistics, and psychology. We'll examine how context can shape the meaning of words, influence our interpretations of statements, and even affect the truth conditions of knowledge claims. Whether you're a language enthusiast, a philosophy buff, or simply someone curious about the subtle nuances of communication, this exploration promises to expand your understanding of how language works and how meaning is constructed in different contexts. And who knows, perhaps by embracing the insights of contextualism, you'll gain a deeper appreciation for the power of language to shape our thoughts, our beliefs, and our understanding of the world around us. Contextualism is a philosophical framework that emphasizes the importance of context in understanding and interpreting actions, utterances, or expressions. This approach challenges the notion that words and concepts have fixed, universal meanings, suggesting instead that their meaning is shaped by the specific circumstances in which they are used. In various fields of inquiry, from ethics to architecture to epistemology, contextualism offers a nuanced perspective on how we interpret and understand the world around us. It highlights the importance of considering the social, cultural, and historical context in which actions, words, or expressions occur. In ethics, contextualism is often associated with situational ethics or moral relativism, where the morality of an action is judged based on the specific context and circumstances rather than absolute moral principles. In architecture, contextualism emphasizes the harmony between modern building types and the existing urban fabric of a traditional city. It advocates for designs that respect the historical and cultural context of a place rather than imposing a universal or standardized style. In epistemology, the study of knowledge, contextualism focuses on the context sensitivity of the word knows. It argues that the meaning of knows can vary depending on the context in which it's used. For example, saying "I know I have hands" might be considered a true statement in everyday conversation, but it could be questioned in a philosophical context where skepticism about the external world is being discussed. Contextualism allows for a more nuanced and flexible understanding of a language and meaning. It recognizes that the same word or phrase can have different interpretations depending on the surrounding circumstances, the speaker's intentions, and the shared assumptions of the conversation. However, this flexibility also raises concerns about relativism, the idea that truth and knowledge are relative to a particular framework or perspective. Some critics of contextualism argue that its emphasis on context can lead to a slippery slope where anything can be considered true or valid, depending on the context. Despite these criticisms, contextualism remains a valuable tool for understanding the complexities of language and knowledge. It challenges us to consider the importance of context in our interpretations and to be aware of the subtle ways in which meaning can shift and evolve depending on the circumstances. The primary motivation behind the development of contextualism in epistemology was to address the problem of skepticism. This philosophical problem questions whether we can truly know anything with certainty, given the possibility of error, deception, or illusion. Skeptical arguments often take the form of a three-part structure. Number one, we don't know for certain that we're not in a skeptical scenario, such as being a brain in a vat or living in a simulated reality. Number two, if we don't know that a skeptical scenario isn't true, then we don't know any ordinary proposition, like whether we have hands or whether the sun will rise tomorrow. And three, therefore, we don't know any ordinary proposition. Contextualists propose a solution to this problem by arguing that the truth value of knowledge claims depends on the context in which they are made. In everyday conversations, where the standards for knowledge are relatively low, we can truthfully say we know many things. However, in philosophical discussions about skepticism, where the standards for knowledge are raised, the same claims might not meet the stricter criteria and would therefore be considered false. Contextualists use this approach to explain why skeptical arguments can seem persuasive in a philosophical setting, while still maintaining that our everyday claims to knowledge are perfectly valid in their appropriate contexts. They argue that the meaning of the word know is context sensitive, like the word I, which refers to different people depending on who is speaking. This view does not imply that knowledge is fleeting or unreliable. Rather, it suggests that the standards for attributing knowledge to someone vary depending on the context. In everyday situations, the standards are lower, and our knowledge claims are typically accurate. But in contexts where the possibility of error or deception is heightened, such as in a skeptical philosophical discussion, the standards are raised, and our knowledge claims become more difficult to justify. Contextualism has been criticized by other philosophers who argue that knowledge should be an invariant concept, not subject to contextual variation. Some critics propose alternative theories, such as subject-sensitive invariantism, or SSI, and interest-relative invariantism, IRI, which suggests that the epistemic standards for knowledge are determined by the context of the subject or their practical interests, respectively. Empirical research in experimental philosophy has also attempted to test the claims of contextualism by presenting non-philosophers with scenarios and asking them to assess the knowledge attributions. So far, these studies have not found strong support for contextualism, suggesting that people's intuitions about knowledge are not significantly influenced by the stakes involved or the potential consequences of being wrong. While contextualism has faced criticism, it remains a prominent view in epistemology, offering a potential solution to the problem of skepticism and providing a more nuanced understanding of how knowledge claims function in different contexts. The debate between contextualism and its rivals continues to be an active area of research and discussion in philosophy, with implications for our understanding of knowledge, justification, and the nature of truth. We've journeyed through the shifting landscapes of contextualism, exploring its implications for our understanding of language, knowledge, and truth. We've seen how context can shape the meaning of words, influence our interpretations, and even challenge our assumptions about the nature of knowledge itself. Whether you embrace contextualism as a way to resolve philosophical puzzles or remain skeptical of its relativistic implications, this exploration has hopefully deepened your appreciation for the nuances and complexities of language and the importance of considering context in our interactions and interpretations. If this video has sparked your interest, I encourage you to delve deeper into the philosophical debates surrounding contextualism. Explore the works of Michael Williams, Keith DeRose, and other scholars who have contributed to this fascinating field. Consider how contextualism might challenge your own understanding of language, knowledge, and the nature of truth. And who knows, perhaps by embracing a more nuanced and context-sensitive approach to language and communication, you can enhance your ability to understand others, resolve conflicts, and bridge the gaps that often divide us. Thank you everyone for watching. My name's The Big Why. Don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new to the Why Not family, a follow. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.